When researching art skills, you will probably come across things such as art fundamentals, color theory, anatomy, perspective, how to properly use certain mediums, and everything in between. However, there is one skill I consider to be the most overlooked skill artists need, which, funny enough, I also believe is the most important skill for artists as a whole. That skill is observation. I'm Katie, welcome to my channel, and today I'll be talking about observation for artists and why it is so important. Observation is the basis for every other skill an artist needs. This is the case because we learn by observing. We cannot draw a dog if we don't know what a dog looks like. And how do we learn what a dog looks like? Exactly, we observe. But observing is not just looking at stuff. Oh no, looking at something and observing something are two different things. Let me explain. You can think of it as observing being the next level of looking. Looking is, well, looking at a dog and saying, yeah, that's a dog. But observing is looking at that same dog and noticing how big or small it is, how long the fur is, the color of the eyes, the shape of the ears, the length of the legs. This is what observation is. You notice details, you analyze them, and you put them all together in order to understand the bigger picture. I know it may sound weird if you've never stopped to think about this, but you'll be surprised with how much visual information you can retain in your mind if you take just 1 minute to observe the details of a subject instead of just taking a quick look at it. By default, we are not designed to notice all these small details around us. We're designed to take a look at something, make sense of its most prominent features, and be done with it. This is our nature, our surviving instinct, to quickly know the difference between something that can be harmful to us from something that is totally fine so that we can move on with our day. The fascinating thing about observation is you don't need to put a lot of effort to learn it. You literally just need to sit down and look at things. I mean it, just go to your room's window right now. What color is the sky? Are there clouds? What color are they? What shape do they take? Did any birds pass by? Did you notice their colors? How they flap their wings? What path they took? This is observing. And trust me, you can improve your artistic skills by doing it. I know it sounds crazy, but by observing, you build up your most important asset as an artist, your visual library. You have probably heard about a visual library, but maybe you are unsure of what it means. A real basic explanation here. A visual library refers to storing visual memories inside your brain, which you can access whenever you need. If we need to know what a tree looks like in order to draw one for the first time, we need to go and pick up a few reference photos in order to paint it, because we probably have no idea where to start. Yeah, we know trees have big trunks and branches and leaves, but how do these come together in order to form a tree? But if you already have a visual library on how trees are built, it's much easier for you to draw one, even if you still use visual references to guide you. See, this is why having a visual library is such an important asset for artists. If you've trained your brain enough to know what a tree looks like, reference material will no longer be a necessity, but a tool from which you can further improve your ever-expanding visual library, but not a requirement in order to paint the tree you need to paint. Because you already know what a tree looks like, you have stored it in your visual library by observing hundreds, maybe thousands of trees. Not only do you know what a tree looks like and how to paint one, you know how to come up with different kinds of trees. And this is why observation is such an important tool for artists. It sparks everything. It's via observing and experiencing the world around us that we collect information, which then is the spark for creativity. See, we cannot be creative without a sizable visual library already built in our minds, because our brain can only come up with ideas using the information it already knows. New ideas are but the mix and match of information already present in our minds. This is a cue to talk about originality, but that is enough content for another video all on its own. So if you want me to talk about it, you can leave a comment below. With all of this said, how exactly do you improve your observation skills?
Well, that's the easy part. You just observe. I'm not kidding. You just sit down and take a moment to observe the world around you.
Leonardo da Vinci was known to do this. He would spend long periods of time observing daily life, people passing by, how they moved, how they were dressed, how their clothes moved when people walked or moved their arms. Now, don't think that just observing is the key to learn how to draw everything. You still need to put what you learn from observing into practice. And that is where the art fundamentals come into place. So anatomy, color theory, perspective, all of those things that make some artists sweat just by hearing the name. Sorry, you still need to practice those. Observation is not a magic trick. It is, however, an important skill which makes your job as an artist much easier in the long run. So introduce observing in your life. Next time you're outside, forget about your phone for a minute and look at the people passing by. Notice their clothes, their hair, how it moves, how colors look under the sunlight. With time, you'll notice how you start introducing what you learn from observation into your art. It won't happen overnight, but I assure you, with persistence and a little bit of time, your art as a whole will improve. And if you do it enough, you'll notice how observation just becomes a natural part of your life. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you ever heard of observation as a skill? Do you practice it in your daily life? Leave me a comment below. Feel free to suggest something you'd like me to talk about, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!